Peace, love, and respect. Peace, love, and respect, Black family. I pray you all are doing well. So, Black family, y'all know how I like to do it. I just roll right into it. So, Black family, order for us to rebuild and repair the community, we literally have to go to the basis. We have to go to the basis of why certain things are the way it is. And when we go to the basis, we got to really pay attention to the order. Because to be honest, we've been out of order for a long time. And out of order is not the order that was trying to be. You know what I'm saying? And when I think about the order that, that we were trying to be in, this is the sole reason why I truly feel like it failed, because we was not in a divine order at all. I want to start with one of the things that has been breaking us down as a people, which is religion. Religion has messed up the whole human race, point blank, but it has done a number on the Black race, and it has done a number on the Black woman. So I'm looking at some scriptures, and let's get into Genesis 2:22. Let's get into this lie, Black family. This lie says, "Then the Lord God made a woman from a rib that he had taken of the man, and brought her to the man." That's Genesis 2:22. Now, it don't take a rocket scientist to understand that that is false. That's absolutely false teachings. Okay? 1, don't no woman come from no man's rib. That's 1. Number 2, don't no woman come from no man. Number 3, you've never seen a woman come from a man's rib. But you have seen men come from women. Okay? So we know that Genesis 2:22 is manology. Okay? So no woman comes from a man's rib at all. And so I need y'all to deconstruct your mentality with that slavery and that falseness. Okay? That's completely false. Then we get into 1 Corinthians 1:8. 1 Corinthians 11:8. Excuse me, Black family. 1 Corinthians 11:8 says, "For man is not of woman, but the woman of the man." Huh? Yo, Black family, this is what's been in the Bible. Does that even make any sense? Because I think we all have reached some level of consciousness to understand religiosity is a lie. Okay? For man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. How? When women birth men. No woman comes from a man. Every man on this earth, Black family, has come from a woman, has come through the woman. Every woman comes from a woman, and every man comes from a woman. So how can they say for man is not of the woman? What are you talking about? But that's okay. Let's get into teachings. Let's get into the feminine energy, Black family. And to get into the feminine energy, we got to understand the female. What makes up the female? Well, the female is XX chromosomes. XX chromosomes is complete chromosomes. What do I mean by complete chromosomes, Black family? Is that the woman does not need anything from the man because the woman has everything. The woman is born with everything. The woman is born with her eggs. The woman is born with the womb. The woman is born with every creativity that she can have to even reproduce herself. Okay? So let's break down the womb. When I broke down womb, I came up with woman, ovaries, mother, and baby. So if you're saying, I don't understand how woman and mother could be different. Well, the woman is divineness, right? Ovaries is what comes with her. Mother is what she becomes, and baby is what's holding on to the life. This is why it's complete foolish that religion says that for man is not of the woman, but when a woman is carrying a male child, he's in her womb, attached to her life. Hello? Black family? Let's deconstruct this slavery, deconstruct these lies. The female has XX chromosomes. The female is born with everything. She is complete. Every female here on this earth is born complete. She does not really need anything from the male. I'll get into the males real soon. But I wanted to break down the feminine. I want to break down the female. Let's get into feminine energy. Feminine energy is positive emotions, empathy, patience, compassion, creativity, good communication, supportive, and collaborative, as well as intuition, receptivity, creative, nurturing, balance of masculine and feminine. And how you get into this energy is prioritizing self-care, meditation, self-reflection. Okay? And everything I just explained with feminine energy, this is a divine order, right? And there are more components to feminine energy. This is just to name a few. This is completely false, Black family, that we've been taught. We've been taught a male order. And this is the reason why a lot that's happening in this world is backwards due to this patriarch male order. This male order says that the divine feminine does not matter, only the masculine God, only the male God. And that's completely wrong, because man does come from woman. So 1 Corinthians, we just debunked. Genesis, we just debunked, because don't no woman come from the rib of a man. That's false. So you should definitely stop believing in something like that. Now, if you want to, you can, but just know it's false. Let's get into some other things, like let's get into yin and yang. So to break down the female and the male, and also the feminine and the masculine, we get into yin and yang. That is the black and the white, right? Yin is black. Black is for female and feminine. Yang is white. It is for male. Yin is associated with the feminine, the nurturing, and the grounded aspect of emotional depth. Yang is male and masculine, and associated with being action driven. Okay? So now when we get into feminine and we get into black, we got to talk about the black woman. The black woman is so divine because the black woman is double feminine. You say, Tina, what do you mean by double feminine? Well, black is feminine. Woman is feminine. The black woman is double feminine. This is the reason why she has ultra creativity. This is also the reason why the black woman in this patriarch society is being devalued, because these males up at the top, these elites, they know the value. And this is why they have social engineered us through social economics. They have made us at the bottom of the food chain due to knowing this divine order. Okay? So black means feminine, woman means feminine. So the black woman is the divine femininity, as well as she is double feminine. Okay? Let's get into men, right? Let's get into the yang, the male, the masculine. And this goes to tie in to debunk 1 Corinthians 11:8 and Genesis 2:22. A man coming from a man cannot come from a woman, and also a woman coming from the rib. This is what your Bible says, and that's absolutely false. Men come from women, and you ain't never seen no woman come from no man's rib. So that was definitely false teachings. It's false. Men have a small access to life. When you look at that yang and you see that little black circle, right, on the white, you see that little black circle for the masculine. Men have a small access to creativity. This is the reason why men need women. Women don't need men, okay? Because a woman is already born with everything, right? Men need to have access to women in order to reproduce themselves, order to extend themselves. Let's get into the XY chromosome. The XY chromosome is the male chromosome. Now, when you look at that X and you look at that Y, right? The X is feminine and the Y is not just masculine. The Y is incomplete, meaning that the man is not completely whole without the woman. This is why the male has to come through the woman. And when he comes through the woman, he needs access to women to be able to consume resources. Oh yes. Oh yes, I'm preaching today. I'm definitely talking to the women for sure. Because this is the reason why in our community we're so out of order, because we don't know this divine order. The male needs women. He needs women to reproduce. He needs women to extend his life. He needs women for resources. The female does not truly need the male. Why? Because she is already born with every resource. Women are the resource on planet Earth. Okay? Males need women. Females need women. Okay? Let's get into some more teachings about the left side and the right side of the brain. Inside each thing the force has its pair of opposite, both identical in nature and also different to a certain degree. Inside the pair of opposites, each have its own feminine and masculine principles, flowing like an ocean tide. The interdependence of rational thinking. So the interdependence of rational thinking. So the left brain is used for analysis, such as logic, right? The right brain is used for relations, such as emotions. The studies have shown, and I will be putting the studies down off into the link, Black family. I will be putting all the studies and all the research down off into the link, okay? Because we do teaching, we are educators, okay? So it says the left brain is used for analysis, such as like logic, right? The right brain is used for relations, such as emotion. Studies show that most males only use the left side of their brain. Most males only use the left side of their brains. And so this is interesting that we want them to lead, we want them to protect, we want them to provide, we want them to do all of these things that they are not emotionally capable of because they only use the left side of their brains. Okay? Males need women to be able to extend their life. The masculine has too much work ethic. Masculine is an energy that's always consistently moving. This is why it's hard for females to get men to sit down, to, I want you to talk to me, and I want you to tell me what's on your, but I just told you, feminine is of good communication, not masculine. In fact, there's a study that shows that males are not intellectually capable of holding intellectual conversations or emotional conversations. So their whole right side of their brain is shut down. This is the reason why they are so codependent on women. Men have a codependency on women. This is why the Bible is their book trying to program women to be up under them, to program women to believe that the man is everything and that he's life. And how is that? Have y'all ever seen a pregnant man? I ain't ever. I don't care about your cartoons. I don't care about your falseness. I don't care about none of that. I ain't ever in my life seen a pregnant man. You know why? It's never gonna happen. Because men do not have the womb. Men do not have the XX chromosomes. This is why transgender is a psychological, damaging, detrimental, concerning to our community, because they are putting us in an order that does not make any sense. Does that make sense, Black family? Women are the subconscious mind. So what's been happening is when you program women with philosophies and then you reproduce through the woman of these false philosophies, then women become these little animatronics operating in a male society of falseness. This is the reason why women have to deprogram their minds of these false philosophies. Women have to know thyself. And that's why I'm breaking down the feminine energy. And this is just one segment of the teachings. But this was to give the difference of the masculine and the feminine, because we are not the same. And this is the reason why we're struggling as a people, because we truly running around here thinking that we are the same. We are not the same. We have so much differences, and I will be breaking it down. Men cannot be convinced. This is why the reason why it's hard to teach men, because men don't be operating out of subconsciousness. Okay? Women operate out of subconsciousness, because the subconsciousness is creativity. And so when you pre-program women to believe that men are their all in all, and that men are over them, and that men are the ones that have the resources, then what happens is women start to chase after men, thinking that men are the prize. Sorry to bust your bubble, males, you are not the prize. Women, you have the womb. Women, you have the XX chromosome. You are complete. You are full. You can reproduce yourself. In order for the male to reproduce himself, he has to consume the resources of the woman, of the feminine. So women have to be reprogrammed. Women have to be reprogrammed. Black women have to be reprogrammed and stop worshiping men, stop worshiping male gods, and truly start educating yourself on who you are as the divine feminine. Especially you, black woman. You are double feminine. This is the reason why 1 Corinthians 11 and 8 is false. Man does come from woman. This is the reason why Genesis 2 and 22 is false. Don't no woman come from no man's rib. You ain't seen that a day in your damn life. And I think it's interesting, black family, that you got folks that believe in that a woman comes from a man's rib, but won't believe that a woman used to be able to reproduce herself and was an asexual and was able to reproduce herself, which is interestingly crazy. You know why that's real silly? Is because I came through a woman. Every female here comes through a woman. From every species, mammal, reptile comes through the woman. Females come through females. They just rolling. So that's interesting that you got people saying, oh, I don't believe women used to just reproduce themselves. Women are reproducing themselves today. Female babies come through the female. Or are we that patriotic to see? Or are we that idiotic to see? Women have to be reprogrammed to stop worshiping men, stop worshiping male gods. Women, you are the divine power source on this earth. You're born complete. Males are not born complete. That Y is an incomplete X. So that's why males are codependent on women. And this is also an order we don't understand in our black community as well. We really believe that everything's going to be coming from the male. This is the reason why we're failing in our community. Everything does not come from the male. The male only has one purpose here, and that's to reproduce through the female. The woman, you are the power source. You are born with everything. This is the reason why Genesis and 1 Corinthians is debunked. So black power is divine power because black is feminine. So we need to deconstruct and repair our mentalities from slavery. Black family, let's stay educated. Let's stay elevated. Let's stop operating on a low chakra. Men, even though that is your nature, if you want to reach to a level of consciousness, that's truly up to you. That's truly up to you. Women, you have to deprogram your minds. Deprogram your minds of this worshiping of men, worshiping of male gods. You do not worship no male gods. You are not a male. So why are you worshiping male gods? You women, especially the black woman, you are the power source. Now that's black power.